This one might be interesting for you if you're new to Seattle. It may also give you a little glimpse into the fall mayor's election between the incumbent Mayor Harrell and Katie Wilson, who some are calling Seattle's Zohran Mamdani. Mayor Harrell played football for the Huskies, and Katie attended college at Oxford. I have a theory that the election will be won on public beaches and parks in this town. I recorded this episode last spring, then I held on to it. Everything seems charged in this country, in this town right now. Even retelling simple stories will tick someone off somewhere. And I also held on to it because this is a story near my kid's club. It doesn't cover his personal experience. It doesn't cover what happens in the club or within his community. That is off limits, and those are not my stories to tell. And I should tell you that this story occurred around the time of last year's boat race controversy. Ridiculously and irrationally, I had feelings about the boat race between Cambridge and Oxford, and it's a result of this experience. And for those of you that got all excited in my content and ethics episode, this is where there will be guns. What goes on behind those creaky old boathouse doors? Who's invited and who feels comfortable? Who's safe and who thrives? Who stays and why do some leave? And why do rowers do some of the weird things they do? Let's talk about rowing culture. And this time, let's do it from the perspective of the Third Boat. I'm Jen Butler. This is the Third Boat Podcast. So in March of this year, there was a lot of controversy with the boat race over in England. It got pretty tense. Apparently, it's as tense as it's ever been. And we'll have to talk about that. But this is to tell you, for the purpose of this story, that I had the boat race on my mind when this happened. And the two regattas, the two races, the one on the river in England, the one on the teeniest of lakes here in Seattle, those races will be forever conflated in my mind. But we're not going to go to England right now. We're going to go to Lake Washington. We are not going to the UW's Conybeare Shell House or the historic ASU Dub Shell House, currently undergoing a $15 million renovation. We're not stopping at Bill Gates' home Xanadu 2.0 in Medina. Xanadu 2.0 is a bachelor pad now. Bill is single, in part due to his desire to be a cool kid and hang with Jeffrey Epstein. He paid heavily for that decision. Recently, he stated that his divorce from Melinda was one of his biggest regrets. Melinda is across the water now in a vibrant city neighborhood, living her best life. They are both dating other people. But I imagine that from time to time, late at night, Bill wanders his empty fortress, thinking of his beloved Melinda across the water. We are also not stopping at the author Mackenzie Scott's house. She also has a bachelorette pad on the east side of the lake. She is flying solo again after divorcing her hunky science teacher husband. Her ex-husband Jeff got jacked, has a new fiancé, and now lives in Miami, where he is part of the cool kids. I imagine Mackenzie is living her best life, but perhaps in a different way than Melinda. I see her reading a real book in a comfy chair with excellent Italian coffee by her side. From time to time, she looks up from her book when she hears the gentle rumble of a boat's engine, the wah 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 of the coach's megaphone, and a small fleet of eights rowing by. We will be on the same lake, but we are going south. About 5 miles south as the crow flies, there's a small egg of a peninsula on the west side of the lake. This little landmass is officially called Stan Sayres Memorial Park, and it's the home of the hydroplane pits. It's where you go to watch the hydroplane races during our annual Seafair Festival and see the hydros and crews up close. A brief explanation of the Seafair Festival. This is when the Navy comes to town and you could tour big warships. There are neighborhood parades, including ceremonial pirates. The Blue Angels air show disrupts the city as F-18 Super Hornets fly so low and so loud. It's so loud, people trank their dogs. The hydroplanes spew pollution all over the lake. It's Seattle hubris and noise, fast boats and faster planes. It's ridiculous and it's horrible for the environment. I love it. I'm Team Seafair. So, most Seattleites know the Stan Sayers Park as the place where you go to watch the hydroplane races. Seattleites call it the pits because of those 5 days in July when you can visit the crew, see the hydros skip over the surface of the water, and hold your breath as you watch the Blue Angels fly so high they disappear, only to return to the lake at impossible speeds, narrowly missing each other. And the rest of the year, it's just a park. The parking lot is an egg shape. You circumnavigate the egg to find a spot. The north side of the park is the Mount Baker Rowing and Sailing Center. It's a friendly and humble club. If you've rowed in Dublin, it kind of reminds me of Commercial Rowing Club in size. It's one of 2 Parks and Rec public boat clubs in the city. It has a master's team and learn to row programs. It's a curious mix of kids that attend at least 14 different high schools in the South End, public, private, and charter. It is generous with financial aid. It doesn't have a lot of money, but it certainly puts the money it does have to good use. When my kid said he wanted to try rowing, I chose Baker for the vibes and the organized but laid-back nature of the club. In other words, I chose it for the culture. After reading the Washington Post article about the Seattle Rowing Center and Connell Groom going full-on Colonel Kurtz down in California, I took culture very seriously. Baker is also one of the clubs that hosts the Pocock Foundation's Camp Lucy in the summer. This camp, I think it's as good as it gets for creating a safe and fun world for middle school girls to row in. Camp Lucy is named after Lucy Pocock, the patron saint of ambitious female athletes and coaches that rowed hard, took care of everyone else's shit, and was forgotten. Peter Guinness played her younger brother George in the movie Boys in the Boat. Camp Lucy provides a free 2-week camp every summer to girls who wouldn't ordinarily have that chance. And I think they do it right. They include instruction, transportation, all food, and fun little crafts. I call Baker a boat club, but there are more activities than rowing. The upstairs is rented for weddings. Kids learn to sail there on little sailboats. I've been there in the summer, and it is swallows and Amazons. It's adorable. There is a bumpy, crumbly little boat launch across from the boat club where I've seen all manner of craft make their foray into our waters, from dragon boats to canoes. And you can fish from the docks. Due to the parking lot configuration, you can fish from a wheelchair there. When the pits are good, they're good. I have seen more rainbows at that park than anywhere else. When it's sunny, there are young families having picnics, kids fishing, stand-up paddleboards, and in the center of the parking lot egg, there is grass. And there may be a boat up on blocks that folks hang out on, listening to Marvin Gaye. Shiny classic old lowriders. My favorite is the El Camino. The sweet smell of weed everywhere. An influencer on top of her van filming the beautiful sky and water. Hashtag van life. Hashtag blessed. And there are some little park parties. Look, discreetly partying in public parks is kind of a tradition in Seattle. You do not have to be in the South End for partying in the park. If you've ever been to a Casper Baby Pants concert, you know what I'm talking about. That was not water in Mommy's Hydro Flask. So during those times at the pits, it's all things good about Seattle. And when they're bad, they go very bad, very quickly. I'm beginning to think that the pits are where we see the results of our city's collective history, our lust for land and real estate, our past decisions and well-meaning policies. The pits are where our chickens come home to roost. This is the Third Boat Podcast. Thank you for listening.